I can give you some short introduction. This is one of my prototypes of microbial fuel cells, and this one would be suitable for compost because I made hollow tubes and dispersed them like this container. Then you can put a contraption on top with an electrode spacing of a ½ centimeter, and then everything is wet, and you can put on top the electrode. But this container was too small for my operation because I have a huge filter here that is separating the detritus sludge into concentrated poo. I can pull up the lever when the container is full. It goes into here, to the tube, into the microbial fuel cell, the bigger version. And same principle, I have electrode plates from graphite felt up to here, connected with titanium wire, otherwise you will get a galvanic reaction, more stuff. And on top of it you get the cathodes that are breathing the oxygen and also are half into the solution, so it can evaporate, and also grow some algae on it because algae acts as a photonic cell. It's also like a solar panel. So now algae is growing into this container. I got a fish poo and algae power. And the open voltage is, if I do nothing, 0.87, 0.687. And mosquitoes. I also have a nice mosquito farm in here because it's stagnant water and they like that. But you got open voltage and you can do shit without it, but I can show you the amperage. It's right now, this is what you get, milliamps. Now this is quite a lot for what I have been using as electrodes. I can ramp this number up by increasing the surface area for the sludge and bacteria to be digested, and I just threw a lot of two-dimensional plates in there, so it's not really ordered like that one. So if I dismantle this whole operation and I put more spacings, more volume for the poo to just fall into these cylinders where there's a minimum range from the biomass to the electrode with the bacteria to keep filling up this mass that has been digested. But as you can see, it's I'm now shortcutting it, so it's like it will decline, but eventually I have like a user now and it's shortcut maybe a ½ ohm or something, so it's a really ridiculous low resistance. And normally I have like a resistor, but now here for example this is a conductor acts as a resistor also. This one counts 30 ohm and it will keep the reaction going, so the bacteria can munch up the biomass, pee or poo, whatever it is, and then release the electron to the multimeter and then back to the surface where it can react with oxygen. So if you want to build a microbial fuel cell, you keep it running and make it running with a little bit of load on it. Now this is short circuit, so the voltage is really low. This mosquito loves me. So when I use this 30 ohm, I will get a open voltage about 0.4 volt, 0.45. It's like almost a ½ volt with 30 ohm user, and it will it will give continuously 8 milliamps. So I can draw a certain amount of 0.4 volt with 8 milliamps, and that gives me the wattage output continuously 24/7, depending on the temperature. Now it's sunny, hot, and this is the rest of my operation. I'll show you some more. Well, yeah, depending on the temperature, when it's really hot, the bacteria are having a really great party. When the sun is shining into the reactor, the algae also has some more potential to give into the system, and therefore ramps up the output. And when it's winter, below 17 degrees, things get really fast low. So nature stops working. Digestion systems need heat to be able to digest. So in the winter here in Holland, when it's minus, stuff will go into sort of hibernation. I got a lot of mosquitoes here. But so this is a short introduction of my fuel cell. I did some 3D printing, did some different stacking. I'm not really sure what my setup shall be for the really optimal conditions, but results are there. So if you want to get a light bulb running from 3 watts, you should ask yourself, what does it give, how much do I need, and how long you want to keep it running. But one fun part is that now I'm using this energy, so it goes to waste, but you can also store it in a cell or capacitor or whatever you want. Yeah. So the source of all the fish poo, and here's my pond. Fish in there, they will eat, and then they will poo. This poo gets also pumped into this giant grow bed where the plants use the energy, also the nutrients, to grow in there. But it's more in a liquid state. The solids I just catch up from the filter, and fun parts also for fish solids. So you can also give it to worms. You can also do anaerobic digestion, and then you have like a demineralization process where minerals and the biomass are being polished by micro life, and then they get in a freeze suspension. That's why I also have noticed that I got a really algae bloom going on here, because it's like green water, and it means it's like really nutrient dense water, and life is teeming in there because there's enough food able to grow and stuff like that, because of the mineral sources being set free. Yeah. Maybe in the future, if I have a bigger operation, I could be able to run a system like this, mainly on fish poo. That's my hope. But maybe I need a little bit of bigger reactor and more fish poo, and way more budget to make it happen. Because the industry doesn't give any fuck now. We have paid top dollar for a little bit of experimentation, and as you think about back in the 70s or the 60s, we also had solar panels, but then we had paid like $1,000 for 1 watt, and that's maybe the same amount we pay for Microbial's fuel cell technology. So if you are able to ramp up the science and the use cases, the demand will grow, therefore prices will also decline, and therefore we will be able to make this mainstream. It can also be done with human sanitary sewage waste facilities that can be run pure on the power that we supply by the toilet, and they also provide a surplus amount of power because they make so much power they don't need where they make, so they can also give it back to the households or the electricity net. As you can see, we're still on 50 millivolts, so it's this reactor likes it a lot, and don't be scared to start with a few, not even a milliamp. Took me years to get to a first milliamp. Now almost, not almost, but we are ramping up to the amp. I wish you good luck. I might have more questions, but I will see that later. Have a nice day.